You're sitting there right now, listening to this. And somewhere deep inside, you know something's off. You know you're capable of more. You feel it in your chest when you lie down at night. That quiet voice that says, "Is this it?" You look around at your life and you see potential. Locked behind fear. Trapped behind doubt. You've got dreams you don't talk about anymore. Because people laughed. Because people doubted. Because you started to doubt yourself. But here's what I know about you. You wouldn't be here if you'd given up completely. Something inside you still burns. Small, quiet, but alive. And today, that flame is going to grow. Let me tell you what nobody else will. You've been thinking small, not because you're weak, not because you lack talent, but because thinking small feels safe. It protects you from disappointment. You aim low, you hit low, you can't fail too hard. Right? Wrong. Thinking small is the slowest form of dying. It's waking up at 40, 50, 60 years old and realizing you played it safe your entire life. And for what? To avoid discomfort? To avoid judgment? You know what's worse than failing at something big? Succeeding at something that never mattered. Look at where you are right now. Really look. Are you proud? Not of what you say you'll do. Of what you've actually done. Most people aren't. Most people have a list of excuses longer than their list of accomplishments. I didn't have the resources. I didn't have the time. I didn't have the support. Stop. Those are stories you tell yourself to avoid the truth. The truth is harder. The truth is you were scared. Scared of what people would think. Scared of putting yourself out there and falling flat on your face. Scared of discovering that maybe you're not as special as you hoped. So you stayed smaller. You took the safe job. The comfortable relationship. The predictable routine. And now you feel it. That hollow feeling. That restlessness that won't go away no matter how much you distract yourself. You scroll through your phone and see people living big lives. Taking big risks. Building big things. And you feel that sting of envy mixed with regret. Because you know you could be doing that too. But you're not. And the days keep passing. One after another. Each one a little more forgettable than the last. Here's the wake-up call. No one is coming to save you. Not your parents. Not your friends. Not some perfect opportunity that falls from the sky. This is your life. And it's happening right now. Not tomorrow. Not when you're ready. Now. Every single day you wait is a day you'll never get back. You think you have time. You don't. You think you'll start when things are perfect. They won't be. You think you'll begin when you're confident. You won't be. Confidence comes from doing. Not from thinking about doing. Not from planning to do. From doing. So here's what needs to happen. You need to start thinking bigger. Not a little bigger. Exponentially bigger. You need to expand your vision of what's possible. Because right now, your vision is limited by your fear. You see what others have told you is realistic. What society has told you is achievable for someone like you. Forget all of that. What do you want? Not what seems reasonable. What do you actually want? If you could design your life without any limitations, what would it look like? Who would you be? What would you create? How would you live? Now here's the hard part. That vision? You can have it, but it requires you to become someone different. Someone harder. Someone more disciplined. Someone willing to sacrifice comfort for growth. Most people won't do this. They'll stay exactly where they are. Complaining, wishing, waiting. But not you. You're gonna make a decision right now. A real decision. Not a wish. Not a hope. A commitment. You're going to think bigger than you've ever thought before. And you're gonna back it up with action. Daily. Relentless. Unstoppable action. You have power inside you that you've never tapped into. Real power. Not the loud kind. Not the kind that needs validation. The quiet kind. The kind that wakes up at 5 in the morning when nobody's watching. The kind that keeps going when everyone else quits. The kind that builds empires in silence. That power is already there. You don't need to find it. You need to unleash it. And you unleash it by thinking bigger than your current circumstances. When you think big, something shifts. Your problems start looking smaller. Your obstacles start looking like stepping stones. Your competition starts looking beatable. Because when you're focused on something massive, the small stuff doesn't intimidate you anymore. Think about it. If your goal is to make $1 million, a $1,000 problem doesn't scare you. If your goal is to build a company that employs hundreds, a bad day doesn't break you. If your goal is to transform your body completely, missing one workout doesn't derail you. You operate from a different level. And here's what happens when you start thinking big. You attract different people. You have different conversations. You take different actions. Small thinkers stay in small circles, talking about small things, complaining about small problems, celebrating small wins and staying comfortable. Big thinkers move differently. They ask bigger questions. They take bigger risks. They demand more from themselves. And the world responds. But let me be clear about something. Thinking big is not about arrogance. It's not about walking around telling everyone how great you're going to be. It's internal. It's a quiet knowing that you're capable of more than what you're currently doing. It's looking at your life and refusing to accept mediocrity. It's seeing someone else succeed. And instead of feeling jealous, feeling inspired. Because if they can do it, so can you. You're not special. And that's good news. Because the people who've built extraordinary lives, they're not special either. They just thought bigger. They refused to settle. They committed when others quit. You can do the same thing. Starting right now. But you have to rewire your mind. You have to start seeing yourself as someone who deserves big things. Not because you're entitled, but because you're willing to earn them. You have to start carrying yourself like the person you're becoming. Not who you are today, who you're becoming. Walk like that person. Talk like that person. Think like that person. And slowly, day by day, you'll become that person. This is not motivation. This is transformation. And it starts in your mind. Now let's talk about who you need to become. Because thinking big is the start. But becoming someone who can achieve big things? That's the work. First, you need to become disciplined. Not motivated. Disciplined. Motivation is a feeling.
It comes and goes.
Discipline is a decision.
It shows up every day, whether you feel like it or not.
You need to build a routine that doesn't negotiate. Wake up at the same time. Work on your goals first thing. Before emails. Before distractions.
Before the world demands your attention.
That morning hour when it's quiet?
That's when you build your empire.
Second, you need to become patient. Big things take time. Nobody builds a fortune in a week. Nobody transforms their body in a month. Nobody masters a skill in a year. You need to be willing to work in silence. While others are posting their highlight reels, you're grinding in the dark. While others are celebrating small wins, you're focused on the big picture. You plant seeds today that you won't harvest for years. That's the game. And most people quit because they don't see immediate results. Don't be most people. Third, you need to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. Growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens when you're scared, when you're unsure, when you're pushing into territory you've never been before. Get used to that feeling. Learn to love it, because that feeling means you're expanding. Every time you do something that scares you, you grow. Every time you push past your limits, you prove to yourself what's possible. And slowly, your capacity increases. What seemed impossible last year becomes your baseline today. Fourth, you need to become selective. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not every opportunity is worth your time. Not every invitation is worth accepting. You have to guard your time and energy like your life depends on it. Because it does. The person you're becoming needs space to grow. That means cutting off people who drain you. Saying no to things that don't serve your vision. Protecting your peace. You're not being mean. You're being smart. Fifth, you need to become your own biggest believer. Nobody will believe in your dreams as much as you do. That's not their job. It's yours. You need to wake up every single day and tell yourself that you're capable, that you're worthy, that you're going to make it happen, even when the evidence doesn't support it yet. Especially when the evidence doesn't support it yet. That's called faith. Not religious faith. Faith in yourself. Faith in the process. Faith that if you keep showing up, keep learning, keep improving, the results will come. This is who you must become. Disciplined. Patient. Comfortable with discomfort. Selective. And full of unshakable belief. That person achieves big things. So here we are, the end of this moment, but the beginning of something else. You have a choice to make. You can close this and go back to thinking small, back to comfort, back to complaining about why things aren't working. You can decide right now that things are going to change. Not eventually. Now. You can decide to think bigger than you've ever thought before. To demand more from yourself than you ever have. To become someone you're not sure you can become. That decision is yours. And no one can make it for you. But I'll tell you this, the world doesn't need more people playing small. It doesn't need more people settling. It needs people who are willing to think big. To risk big. To build big. The world needs you at your fullest potential. Not your safe version. Your dangerous version. The version that refuses to quit. That's who you are.
you just forgot for a while.
But now you remember.
So go. Think bigger.
Work harder.
Become greater. And when you look back on this moment years from now, you realize this was the day everything changed. The day you stopped thinking small and started thinking like the champion you were always meant to be. Now go earn it.